Hey, my third grade mathematicians. Today we're going to continue to learn about fractions. We are going to generate simple equivalent fractions by using visual fraction models and the number line. So let's begin with our problem of the day. So in our problem of the day, let's read that together. Everyone ready, read. Shannon stood at the end of a 100-meter long soccer field and kicked the ball to her teammate. She kicked it 20 meters. The commentator said she kicked it a quarter of the way down the field. Is that true? If not, what fraction should the commentator have said? Prove your answer by using a number line. So let's start out with what we know. So what do we know? Very good. We know that Shannon stood at the end of a 100-meter long soccer field and kicked the ball. So I'm going to draw my number line, and I'm going to show that as 0 meters here and 100 meters here. Okay, so she kicked it 20 meters. So between 0 to 100, there are 20 meters. So what could we count by? If we had 0, 0, 20, so we're counting by 20s, what would come next? 40, 60, 80, and 100. So let's plot each of those on the number line. Let's see from here to here. That's one interval, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 5 equal spots on this line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be 20 meters, 40 meters, 60 meters, 80 meters, and we already have 100 meters. So the commentator said she kicked it a quarter of the way. How much is a quarter? 25 cents is a quarter. So a quarter would be 1/4, because 1/4 of 100 or 1/4 of $1 is a quarter. So that would be 25 cents. So this is where she kicked it to. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. So what would this fraction be? This would be 0/5. Right, that would be 1/5. So did she kick it 1/4? No, she did not. She kicked it 1/5. So is it true? No. It is not true. She kicked it 1/5 of the way down the field. 1/5 of the way. So on your paper, you'll have a lot more room to write this, but on mine, I'm a little limited here. So your sentence, she kicked it 1/5 of the way. In your sentence, you could write it any way you would like as long as you have the answer. Notice we have our number line to show our work. So let's keep going. Great job. So as we said, we are learning to generate simple equivalent fractions by using visual fraction models and the number line. So we're doing a lot of what we did yesterday. So let's just continue with this. So turn your paper over on the back, and on the back, I want you to draw a number line, and I want you to label the endpoints, and we're going to have intervals from 3 to 5. So let's label this endpoint 3 and this endpoint as 5. So what's missing between 3 and 5? Very good. 4 is missing between 3 and 5. So it says to partition it into thirds and into 6. So let's start with thirds. So between 3 and 4, we need 3 equal parts. So there's 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts. Between 4 and 5, we need 3 equal parts. So there's 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts. So we have thirds. So how many thirds are in 9? Very good. There are 9 thirds. Sorry, how many thirds are in 3? There are 9 thirds in 3. So then we would have 10 thirds, 11 thirds, 12 thirds, 13 thirds, 14 thirds, and 15 thirds. I know that 9 divided by 3 is 3, so that tells me that there are 9 thirds in 3 wholes. So now it also says to partition into sixths. So I'm going to get a different color to partition into sixths. So if we already have thirds, if we have thirds and we double thirds, we would have sixths, but really we're dividing those thirds again. So we're going to divide each of those thirds. And now, and I'm going to go over the red ones also. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. So now we have sixths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here is our sixth part. So how many thirds or how many sixths are in 3 wholes? Very good. There are 18 sixths into 3 wholes. So then we would have 19 sixths, 20 sixths, 21 sixths, 22 sixths, 23 sixths, 24 sixths, 25 sixths, 26 sixths, 27 sixths, 28 sixths, 29 sixths, and 30 sixths. Now let's find the equivalent fractions. Remember, they're at the same point on the number line if they're equivalent. So let's look. Yes, 9 thirds is equivalent to 18 sixths. So I could say 9 thirds is equal to 18 sixths. 10 thirds is equal to 20 sixths. So I could say that 10 thirds is equivalent to 20 sixths. They are at the same point on the number line. I want you to continue. 11 thirds is equal to 22 sixths. 12 thirds is equal to 24 sixths. And I want you to write down the rest, pause the video and write down the rest of the equivalent fractions that you see. All right, boys and girls, so now we're going to draw another number line. I want you to draw that on your paper. And I want you this time we have intervals of 1 to 3, so we're going to label this in point 1 and this in point 3. And what is missing? What whole number is missing? Very good job. 2 is the whole number that is missing. So first they want us to partition into 6. So between each whole number, between 1 and 2, we're going to partition into 6. So go ahead and do that now. All right, so I'm going to do 6th. Well, I was going to change the color. Sorry, guys. Let me try that again. There we go. So 6th. So there's half, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have to partition this side into 6. So I'm going to start with half and then 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6th. So how many sixths are in one whole? Oh, that one's easy, isn't it? Yes, 6 sixths are in one whole. Then we have 7 sixths, 8 sixths, 9 sixths, 10 sixths, 11 sixths, 12 sixths, 13 sixths, 14 sixths, 15 sixths, 16 sixths, 17 sixths, and 18 sixths. All right, so then it tells us to partition it into 12ths. I'm going to change my color, and underneath, I'm going to do 12ths. So if I have 6, I can double 6, and I get 12. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new tick mark between each one because that would make us have 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then there's 12. Okay, now let's do the other one the same way. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now how many twelfths are in one hole? Very good, 12 twelfths. So I know that this is 12 twelfths, so this is 13 twelfths, and this is going to get a little tight in here. 14 twelfths. So 14 twelfths is equivalent to 7 sixths. So let's keep going. 14 twelfths, 15 twelfths, 16 twelfths. So 16 twelfths is equivalent to 8 sixths. Okay, I want you to continue and see if you can find more fractions that are equivalent. 6 sixths is equivalent to 12 twelfths. 7 sixths is equivalent to 14 twelfths. 8 sixths is equivalent to 16 twelfths. There are many more on that number line. See if you can find any more of those. All right, good job, boys and girls. Okay, we're going to do one more of these together, and then you're going to do some guided practice. So this time, it says intervals of 3 to 5. So let's put our endpoints of 3 and 5. And what whole number's missing? 4. Very good. Excellent, excellent job. So the first one says to partition into halves. So let's go ahead and let's partition from 3 to 4 into halves. Well, that was easy. Very good. So we have halves, and from 4 to 5, we have halves. Excellent. So now we know that if we have halves, we have 2 equal parts. So how many halves are in 3 wholes? Good. 6 halves are in 3 wholes. So 6 thirds, 7 thirds. I'm sorry, that's halves. I messed up there, guys. If we were in class, I know that you would have told me that. 6 halves, 7 halves, 8 halves, 9 halves, and 10 halves. Now, the other we need to partition into 4. So if we have halves, we double halves, it gives us fourths. So let's do fourths. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Again over here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So how many fourths are in 3 wholes? Great job. 12 fourths are in 3 wholes. 13 fourths, 14 fourths, 15 fourths, 16 fourths, 17 fourths, and 18 fourths, 19 fourths, and 20 fourths. Now I want you to pause the video and find as many equivalent fractions as you can. Okay, you should have found a lot of equivalent fractions. 6 halves is equivalent to 12 fourths. 7 halves is equivalent to 14 fourths. They're at the same point on the number line. 8 halves is equivalent to 16 fourths. 9 halves is equivalent to 18 fourths. 10 halves is equivalent to 20 fourths. Okay, remember they are equivalent if they are at the same point on the number line. Good job. Now, this one you can do on your own. And if you do this one on your own, take a picture of it, send it to me, and you'll get a bonus point for that. Now, let's do a little guided practice. On the number line above, use a colored pencil to divide each whole into thirds and label each fraction above the line. So draw your number line, 0 to 3, and let's partition each into thirds. So 1, 2, 3 parts, 1, 2, 3 parts, 1, 2, 3 parts. So we have thirds, and we're going to write the fraction. There are 0 thirds in 0 wholes. 1 third, 2 thirds, 3 thirds, 4 thirds, 5 thirds, 6 thirds, 7 thirds, 8 thirds, 9 thirds. Good job. Now on the number line, you're going to divide it into sixths. Ooh, we just did this a few minutes ago, so we should do this well. So we know that if we double 3, we get 6. So we have 3 now. Let's double those and make 6 now. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. So we know that there are 0 sixths if we have 0 wholes. 1 sixth, 2 sixths, 3 sixths, 4 sixths, 5 sixths, 6 sixths, 7 sixths, 8 sixths, 9 sixths, 10 sixths, 11 sixths, 12 sixths, 13 sixths, 14 sixths, 15 sixths, 16 sixths, 17 sixths, and 18 sixths. So what fractions name the same place on the number line? We can look and see that 0 thirds and 0 sixths name the same point. 1 third and 2 sixths name the same point. 2 thirds and 4 sixths name the same point. And you keep going. You write down as many as you see. 9 thirds equals 18 sixths. Write as many as you can that name the same point on the number line. You're doing excellent, excellent work. Keep it up. All right, now let's look at this. We have 2 different fractions shown on this number line, 2 different fractional units. So you may have to use halves, you may have to use thirds, you may have to use fourths, fifths, sixths, eighths, tenths. Don't know until you get started in doing the work. So let's see right here. We have 1, 2 equal parts, 3 equal parts. So it would be thirds. And we know that it is at what point? 1, 2. So 2 thirds. So we're going to write 2 thirds here. Now we want to find something equivalent to that. And we've been working on it. If we have thirds and we double it, can we find an equivalent fraction? Yes, we can. So let's draw 6 equal parts now. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts. So we would put 6. And we landed at 1, 2, 3, 4 sixths. So 4 sixths would be equivalent to 2 thirds because they are at the same point on the number line. Let's try the next one and do the same thing that we just did on this one. Okay, you ready, boys and girls? Let's give it a try. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So we know it's going to be fourths. And we're at 1/4. So now let's take and double that. Let's partition each fourth again. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equal parts. So we would go 1/8, 2/8. So 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. Okay, boys and girls, we are on this today. We are doing a great job. I love the way that each one of you are working so hard on this. So let's look at the last one. I want you to go ahead and I want you to label the fraction on there. What is the fractional unit? Very good. It is fifths. So we would go 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. Oh, is it fifths? No, it is not fifths. What is it, boys and girls? Very good. It is fourths. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's fourths. And so how many, if I have one whole, that means I have 4 fourths. So 4 fourths, 5 fourths, 6 fourths, 7 fourths. So that is 7 fourths. Now, if we want to see what's equivalent to that, what do we need to partition it into now? Very good, eighths. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our unit is eighths, and we're going to go now. We're looking at the blue line. So 1/8. Well, it's not 1/8, is it? We have to start at 8/8. So 8/8, 9/8, 10/8, 11/8, 12/8, 13/8, 14/8. So 7 fourths is equivalent to 14/8. Okay, good job. So you're going to do the same kind of work on your problem set. You're going to complete the front page and then number 5 on the back. You're also playing the game 3 in a row. And I will also send you the video modeling how to play 3 in a row. It's a very fun game, and I know that you will do great with that game. If you need me, you know how to get in touch with me.